Welcome back. Now, SEBI has introduced a new asset class, Specialized Investment Funds, SIFs. Now, they will enable mutual funds to deploy advanced investment strategies in open-ended, close-ended and interval structures. The new asset class will have a minimum investment amount of 10 lakh rupees. To talk more about this, we have Feroze Aziz, Deputy CEO at Anand Rathi Wealth, joining in. Feroze, first just give us a little more details about this new product and how is it different from what is available and what would be the investment strategy?
Good morning, Rima. Like you rightly said, this is a new product class. Unlike in the past, the regulator had called it an asset class. Asset classes are equity, debt, commodities. Maybe even today, people indulge in crypto as an asset class. So this is a product class, point one, and it is called a special investment fund, which is a fund which a mutual fund company can launch only. Okay, this, unlike AIF and a PMS, alternate investment funds and PMSs can be independent licenses. As I read this circular, this is a tagged along license with a mutual fund license. That's point one. Point two, what does this investment fund do? As of now, of course, there's a lot desired, but it actually has limits of investing in equity, debt, and even in REITs and InvITs. So these three, it has been spoken about. This circular does not speak about derivative and its exposure, which was the most important thing which I was keenly looking at, because that's what would distinguish it from a PMS and an AIF for that matter, because mutual funds are a very restricted platform. So to answer your pointed question, Rima, this is somewhere between a mutual fund investor and a PMS investor. We are seeing that there are a lot of people dabbling in derivatives in a very unstructured, more speculative manner. Can they come into a structured investment vehicle? I think that's where this whole argument started. And that's why derivative is something which is important. So, but I think this is a very good move, immensely important move to give only these 40 odd companies the license to run an SIF and not make it like PMS AIF. Because that then you have thousands of licenses and that creates even more a non-transparent, confusing environment for an investor.
Feroze, good morning. Exactly, that was going to be my next question, because it doesn't speak about derivatives, and that is something we had discussed at length earlier as well. What would it mean if derivatives actually are specified in this asset class as well? But tell us, generally, you did indicate that there are more things that need to be discussed in detail in the final paper. So will we get more details in the final circular? Is there an indication, and what more could have been added in terms of specifics here?
Sonal, I'm a avid viewer, and most often than not, Sonal, you discuss things which generally get missed out also. So you're really ahead of times because you're tracking mutual funds so closely, and I'm not just flattering you by giving this compliment. Yes, we discussed incidentally on one of the shows also we discussed derivatives, and that has been missed out yet. Why is it important? Is because the AIF industry. I have a observation which really scares me. It gives me sleepless nights as a stakeholder, not an investor, because I don't invest in AIFs, is because even debt AIFs don't disclose whom they are lending to. To an investor who has put a crore, if you're getting a bond portfolio with 13% yield, would I not want to know whom you have lent to? Unless I ask you, you're not going to tell me, for the reason of non-transparency, so that nobody else should replicate my portfolio. That's how non-transparent it is. Yesterday, I was seeing an AIF portfolio of one of my clients who had externally invested 10 crores and has a 13.59% yield, but there is no issuer information unless seeked. So AIF is not so transparent. PMSs have a regulation on the restriction of derivatives. So I personally think in the next circular, because derivatives is the most controversial topic, I think the regulator wanted to get this off the ground. I'm sure there's going to be a lot of manthan, a lot of debate happening behind the scene, and I'm sure they're going to come up with something which has, for an accredited investor who proves that he is more informed, can you give him leverage limits of 2 times when options in the direct market can have 100 times leverage? You can have 1 rupee option and a 25,000 crore notional on Nifty. Like when you buy 1 rupee option, you're taking a notional contract value of 25,000 rupees of Nifty, or 24,000 as we speak. Can you at least permit 2? or 3 times the leverage on a platform which is more well managed and is regulated, and it's only given to 44 companies in India as we speak. So I think definitely there's a lot of work happening in the back.
Yes, so we'll await those details very closely. Feroze, in that case, this is something that everyone asked us yesterday as well. Who would this be suited for? Do you think people will start moving out of PMS or from mutual funds? Because this would be somewhere in the middle, right, in terms of risks. And how attractive would this be as an asset class for any investor for that matter?
I think it will be very, very attractive. And I think most people will, in the current retail segment, if they do disciplined investing, they will graduate to 10 lakhs anyway. So any platform which is so revolutionary and has to be forward looking. So today, if you have a client who's got 3 lakh rupees as his overall portfolio, he will be a 30 lakh client. Even if he did nothing for 15 years, added no rupee, if you compound the money at 14-15%, it will get to 10 times either way. So he can have 1/3 of his money in an SIF, which I think is a very exciting platform from where I see it. Of course, we don't cater to retail investors. We only cater to clients who are HNIs. But as an Indian, I feel very happy that people will get access to more intelligent investments. That's where fund management skill is very useful and not so unaffordable, because 10 lakhs pe pahunch hi jayega insaan.
Okay, all right. Feroze, thank you so much for joining us. These are the initial days of this notification as well. As you said, there'll be a lot of manthan, a lot of discussions on this. So we'll have this discussion some other time as well in detail when there are more details available, especially on the derivatives bit as well. But thank you so much for joining us with your initial thoughts.